So this is my geometric shape, the box. Still just a box. But I want us to play with this box, guys. Of course, you can take any shape, but I don't have time to give you everything. So here's just a box, and let's work on it a bit. I want to turn this box into a chair. What do? You go straight to Modify, which is next to the quantities, and start reducing its height a bit. That means the width makes the height, because this is a chair, which is the base of the chair. So understand me. So make it 6 and increase the segments, making them 3, 3, 3, which are the squares that you can deal with. It's tricky when the chair takes up a third of the space. I'm increasing it. Height doesn't matter, but half does. If I make it square, 6 is better, and if the width is 6, it's much better. The chair appears small. Prefer 5 and 5? That's better. Continue setting segments for modeling. Asked if smooth shape can be wireframe? No. Press Show Wireframe. Shows silky shape to work with. I've changed the object, adjusted the length, width, and height, and set segments to create the chair's back and legs. Legs too thin? Let's make the segments 4. Notice chair leg with back and legs. But this chair is really long. If you don't like what I'm saying and you want 5 and 5, that's your choice. It would be better. So the process goes on, and you set the segments based on how you're going to do the modeling. And someone is asking me, Dr. Abdul Rahman, can the smooth shape that's in perspective be a wireframe? I tell you, no. Just press on the Show Wireframe option and choose Wireframe from there. So it shows a silky shape, and then you can work with it. That's how I do it. I change the box's dimensions to create the chair's back and legs. You might say, the legs are too thin, Dr. Abdul Rahman. Let's make the segments 4. Notice the chair leg and back. It should be reasonable. I adjusted the dimensions, so no supports are needed. We won't use such values without shortcomings. If I increase the length segments, maybe 4 and 3. Now I can work on this shape. I moved on from the modifier to play with the edit in the old edit mesh and the new edit boolean. The edit boolean is for the next steps. This seems reasonable with the back and the legs adjusted. We won't have any supports here unless I make the width 50 and 50. We can't be working with such values without any shortcomings. Let's say the segments, if I increase the segments of the length this way, maybe 4 and 3, like 4 and 4. And it also makes a difference. I want big legs with the back this way. That's great. I can work on this nice shape. I left the modifier. I will use the edit in the old edit mesh and the new edit boolean. The edit boolean is for the next steps. I can work on edit boolean and deal with boolean and grab any boolean I want to work on before we get into this topic. So it could be 4 and 3 or 4 and 4, and it really makes a difference. I want big legs with a back like this. Perfect. So now I can work on this nice shape. I moved on from the modifier, and what do I want? I want to play with the edit in the old edit mesh and the new edit boolean. The edit boolean is for the next steps. So I can work on edit boolean and deal with boolean there in various ways and manipulate them and grab any boolean I want to work on, such as, for example, before we get into this topic, as needed to achieve desired outcomes. Close this and go back to the big one. I have this shape. This is the handle, top from left, meaning the top is opposite the bottom. So this is from above, which means the back of the chair is coming from the top. Now, when I want to make the legs of the chair, I'll choose the bottom because the legs come from underneath. This is the upholstery that you sit on. The back of the chair comes from the top. When you want to make the legs, you bring the bottom. Nice. If you want to do something from the right, stay right. If you want to do something from the left, stay left. You want to do something from the front. And the back, you have everything. Top, bottom, front, back, left, right. Just like I told you. While we explain the basics, you can switch between them and how to press on the name of the axis to switch between them. I'll switch while I'm working, so let me be in the modify and bring our modifier. Now let's grab the back from the top. From the top, I'll hold the back, select my polygon like this, and choose these 3. I'll press Ctrl and select these 3. I want to lift them, lift the back. I can lift the back, for example, with an extrusion, which is for texturing. I can lift it manually by pressing extrude like this and pulling it. Pull this to raise the back of the chair like this. Even if he tells you, no, Dr. Abdul Rahman, just wait a second, don't do it manually, let me understand what I'm doing. I press the settings that I have here. The settings have a value. It has a number. Okay, this value is 10. I want these 10s to work like this, so I can increase the values by 10, 10, 2. For example, I'll add 10, add 10, add 10. What's this? 50 is a lot. 40 looks good. 50, you can do as you wish. You made it your style, free. I made the back, which is a plus. They should draw it on paper and then implement it. Here are the legs. I'll make legs like this. Legs are 10. Enough, right? A chair like a flower. If someone wants a pattern, open wireframe, remove, bring default shape. It looks like this, right? From bottom, if I sketch and put it, I'll add bevel modifier. This is the area for the legs. I'll make the legs like this. And not 10. 10 is too much. And it won't give me anything. The legs are what? 10. 10 is enough like this. Right? A chair like a flower. So that's it. Okay. But this is fine. Okay. If someone wants to create a pattern, let's open this wireframe shape, remove it, and bring the default shape. So it looks like this, right? It looks a bit strange, but we can play with it. From the bottom, if I just sketch the pencil and put it, I'll bring another modifier called bevel. This baby is manual. It does this to you. It takes you inside or takes you outside. That's it. It decorates the leg simply. If I take from the bottom and top to grab the chair's back and extrude by 5, it took 10. A bevel by 1 is small, so it took a bevel of 2. To grab the back of the chair, I'll take these two parts, and I said to extrude them by 5, but it took 10 automatically. It thinks it's 10 because it remembers that number. So you're supposed to do 5, but you need to reduce it and do it right. After these 5, I want to do a bevel by how much? It also remembers that it took that number. So I'm telling it, no, I'm doing a bevel by just 1. 1 is small, so it took a bevel of 2 back to back. I can do an extrusion and then another bevel, as if I'm creating a shape like this, up. It also actually keeps in mind that it took that number. So I'm telling it, you see, no, I'm doing a bevel of just 1. 1 is small indeed. Therefore, it took a bevel of 2 back to back. Now then again, I can do an extrusion and then another bevel as if I'm doing something. What does it look like up there? So the shape of the chair has come together from all sides. The design process involves meticulous attention to detail, ensuring that each component fits perfectly. I'm just trying to make a chair. At this moment, okay? Nice, 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 nice. So I have a chair for now, and I want to work on this chair. This chair is modeling. What I'm doing here is with extrusion, beveling, and scaling. This is called modeling. I have modeling. Here's a loaded material. Choose a color. No, wait, Dr. Abdul Rahman, let's use the material editor. I'll choose my material. In maps, I can take noise or wood texture. And let's also open this old shape, just for the people who have worked with Sedibox before. This is the material interface, and I'll choose my material. When I select a material, it tells me I've got a material. Meaning from here, you have the first material. There's a material here, and in maps, I can take noise or a wood texture. And this will be applied, meaning when I take this hood, it will look like the wood texture.